Okay, good morning. First Vlogmas morning with an actual advent calendar, so that's fun. I have like 15 minutes until work from home starts, but I thought I've just been putting my advent things in this little basket because I don't like having things loose. I'm like maybe not an actual organized person, but it just makes me feel organized if things are contained. Olive just shook the camera when she walked by. Olive, stop running around. You're shaking the camera. Let's get in here. I did take off my press-ons last night. I finally got tired of them. They've been on for over a week, and they're cheap ones, and I'd had enough. So I'm hoping to get something good that I can use this week, either press-ons or a color. Like I said, I like this color, but it's not very Christmassy to me. I wouldn't want to do it this week. Hope this one's something that I want to use this week, like today. Nope. But this is handy. It's a nail polish remover pot. I bet it's one of the ones with the little foam inside, so you kind of go, Should I wait? Should I wait? I guess I could have naked nails until tomorrow. But if I spend the whole month just holding out for one I want to use, if I don't get one that I want to use tomorrow, then I'll just do my nails with stuff I already have in the house. Today's going to be pretty simple during the day. I'm going to be working from home, so there's really not much I can show, but I do have a crafty, it's not a craft, but it's like a crafty activity that I plan on doing on my lunch break. I thought I was going to do it last night, but then because I'm not leaving the house today, I didn't have to have it done and ready for this. I'm being secretive because it's really the only thing I've got to show you today. I don't have much going on. Yeah, once I get to my lunch break, we'll head up to my craft room and do that crafty little activity. And then at some point today, our meal kit is supposed to come. Thank goodness, because I absolutely don't have enough stuff in the cupboards. I mean, I have a few more like creative meals I could probably make, but I would prefer lazy meals where they've already picked it out for me and portioned everything. We haven't had much snow yet. Like, I always feel like bad when I ask to work from home because of the snow and then the snow doesn't show up. But technically, the winter storm warning goes for a while longer. It goes until 4 a.m. tomorrow. So we might still get snow and it might not have been entirely futile. Let's go get everything set up for work and get comfy. So one really nice thing about working from home is the opportunity to use my break time to take care of tiny chores. If I'm working in the office, I tend to use my little brain breaks as like like scrolling on my phone or knitting for a few minutes. But at home, I can swap the laundry or put away the clean dishes or like do little things that normally don't get done until the evening. So it does kind of streamline my day a little bit because I was able to do a handful of things that I wouldn't normally be able to do until after 5 p.m. So, and of course, not having to commute at all means I get that extra half hour back in the evening as well. So it is so nice to have the benefit of working from home. We haven't actually had much snow accumulation yet. It has been snowing on and off. I think I'm going to have some leftover mac and cheese for lunch because it's already made. And I do have a session that I have to join at noon, which is half an hour. So this is a perfect time for my lunch break. Watch some Vlogmas. During some downtime during my work today, I did finish the bind off on the edge of the Vima collar. It definitely needs a block. It's very wibbly, and the cables make the I-cord look not very good, but I'm sure that'll block out and look good afterwards. So like I said, for the back of this, the pattern is supposed to be the same, the cable pattern. I'm just going to do moss stitch. I think I've said seed stitch every time in this Vlogmas, and every time I'm editing, I'm like, no, it's moss stitch. It's the 4-row repeat, which I believe is moss stitch. On the back panel, I'm just going to do the moss stitch for the whole thing, partially because the cable pattern is taking a lot of my attention, and I think that's really, really slowing me down, and I would like to get this one wrapped up so I can start the other one, the garter stitch one, but also because I don't think that would be super comfy. It is like a very dense cable pattern. I guess it wouldn't be like uncomfy, but I just think can't see it on the back anyway. The whole point of this is that it's being worn under a coat or something so that you can see the cable pattern on the front, but you're definitely not going to be able to see it on the back. So I think doing the cable pattern on the back is not the best use of my time right now. So I'm going to choose to omit that, do the whole back panel in moss stitch, and then hopefully I can wrap that up this week so that I can cast on my second Vima collar, which is going to be heavily modified to not have any cable pattern and just have garter stitch on the front and back. I'm gonna get my lunch, watch some Vlogmas, and pick up the stitches to do the back of this collar. I am a member of Shannon Makes Patreon. If you don't follow her, you totally should. She does some really amazing content. She's so thrifty and so resourceful, and I love watching not only all of her great crafting stuff, which I've been watching for years, but her renovating her house, and her interests overlap so much with mine. She's one of my favorite content creators. So as a part of her Patreon, she's doing this fun holiday gift exchange, but it's like a stash swap. So you registered for the gift swap and you kind of upload a couple wish list items, and then everybody's pulled like a Secret Santa, and she separated it out by country so everybody's shipping within their own region. So I've received my gift recipient, and her wish list is very brief. It's actually not even a list. She basically just posted a picture of this gorgeous kind of like freeform kind of style quilt. I don't know about quilting, don't quote me on that, but it's very pretty. The caption was basically, anything you send me will be used to patch this old quilt I have. I say freeform because they're all different shapes. They're kind of on top at angles. It looks like she's hand stitching new fabric onto this old quilt, which is so fun, but it's also not a lot of detail, right? And I don't know if she likes anything else. So I had, for my little wish list, mentioned that I like knitting, that I like buttons and notions and that kind of thing. And this person is specifically just looking for fabric scraps. So I'm going to go through my fabric scraps and find what I can. I'm a little concerned because I want it to be things that kind of match her quilt and would go well with it. But there are some prints in the photo that are a little off the wall and they're smaller pieces, but that maybe don't go with the aesthetic of the quilt. So I think she's not afraid to add other things. But either way, I want it to be enough, right? Like I'm concerned about just sending her a little bundle of scraps. I want it to feel like a whole gift. So let's dig through my stash and see what we can assemble to send my little Secret Santa recipient. I have a couple spots where I keep scraps. So these are larger scraps. Definitely find some stuff in here to pull to send to her. I think it'll be especially fun to use things that I've already used. Like these are like this. I have fun memories of fabrics that I've already used, right? So that would be simple enough. But I also do have an old candy jar style of very small scraps, basically cabbage. So after I go through and pull some from these larger scraps and assemble a bundle here, I also want to dig into there and see if I have little teeny ones that I can work with. I don't know that there's a lot that's like quilting quality in here. No, that's a knit. Oh my gosh, I have this little Christmas fabric I don't remember. I should probably sew something out of that. That's cute. Alright, here's what we've come up with. A nice little stack, a bunch of different prints, but a lot of them are solids. I think it's such a cute one. I'm going to tie it up with some ribbon. And I do want to put together one more thing because I think, like I said, to me this doesn't feel like a complete gift. So I have one more little idea. So I have been working on the back side of the Vima collar while I've been working, and I really love it. I really love the decision I made here. The stitch definition is so good. It's so crisp, and it's also giving me a great idea of how wide the collar will actually be because this cable motif is like scrunched in so much. Like look how much wider the back side is than the front. So this is going to be the actual blocked width, and I'm loving it. I'm just having that lovely maker feeling
that you have when you start to see your project come together and you realize it's all been worth it and that it's working out. And that's a great way to spend a Thursday afternoon.
Okay, we've reached the end of the workday. There is still half an hour before it's time to feed these guys, even though they're getting a little antsy, thinking it's time. It's not time yet. So for the next half hour, I'm going to avoid standing up because that makes the dogs get overexcited and think they're getting fed immediately. And I'm going to just get a little head start on my editing, kind of download and sort files and things. Just to avoid getting the dogs overexcited for the next half hour. So I'll pick a Vlogmas to watch and get a little head start on my own editing for today. And then I'll feed them and get everything sorted for dinner and straighten out the rest of the evening. I'm glad I got that head start on editing because that took about all the time that I had before I have to start prepping dinner. But I did get a head start for not having to commute, so that was nice, of course. I have had some frozen dinner rolls proving in the toaster oven. The package says they take 3 to 5 hours to thaw and rise, and in my experience in the winter it's at least 5, and I didn't think to take them out until too late. So I have done this before and it's worked pretty well, where I put them in the toaster oven and turn it on really, really low. It's like about 100 degrees maybe Fahrenheit. I'm not delusional, there's plastic on them, but it's warm enough usually to thaw them and help them rise, because it's so cold in the house that if I try to do it at room temperature it'll take way too long. So hopefully those are proving okay, and I'll have to put them in the oven in like half an hour to have them ready for dinner. I decided to make those because one of the meal kits is soup, and it's just such a soup day. It is so cold. I have just about enough time to watch one more video and knit for a few minutes before I need to start making the soup. Alright, well, I have started preparing dinner. To be honest, I was so worried about the rolls not proving at all, it didn't even occur to me that they would overprove. Kind of a funny pickle to be in, if you ask me. Anyway, my video editing is so far along for the evening, and I don't have that much more to say, so I think I will leave you here tonight. I'm gonna eat dinner. I'll work on my cross stitch this evening, and I can show you tomorrow what I worked on today. And I'm gonna close out Vlogmas a little early today so I can have a little more relaxing time this evening after uploading. So thanks for joining me as always, and I can't wait to see you in the morning.